Greetings, it's Joanna Conde with Real Estate for Seniors. And today we're going to talk about selling and the reasons to sell. And they fall into two groups. One, you have to sell. And one, you think you want to sell, but you don't really need to. It's a decision. So I'm going to share my screen because I prepared slides, and we'll go through. There's 6 reasons in the want to category, and there are only 3 really in the need to. So let's go share my screen. To sell or not to sell? That is your question, and it should be your answers, understanding your whys. And why are your whys important? Because it may affect your timeline and your action plan. If you have to sell, and you have to sell quickly, your action plan will be different than if you want to sell and you have time to do the things to make your house more valuable, or to move, or to pack, etc. So knowing your whys will keep you, as they say, from jumping from the frying pan into the fire. Don't make an impulsive decision if you have the option of selling. Think about it carefully and clarify your reasons. Now, as I said before, they fall into 2 categories. You need to sell. You have to sell. The decision has pretty much been made for you. And the second one is you want to sell, and you have looked at all of the possibilities, and that's the decision you want to make. So if you need to sell, there are going to be pretty much 3 situations. 1, you can't manage the house anymore. It's not physically possible for you to manage it. You can't keep up with the things. You can't keep it clean. You can't keep the yard work up. It's difficult. The stairs, you're worried about falling down the stairs. You're worried about tripping. It's just not a safe house for you. Then there's financial pressure. The costs have become too much. The house needs maintenance, needs a new roof. It needs a new air conditioning system. The insurance has gone up. The maintenance has gone up. You can't do it yourself anymore, and it's too costly to maintain it by hiring somebody. Financial pressure, second reason. The third one is maybe one of the homeowners died. Maybe they both have passed away, and the property has to be sold. So those are the 3 reasons. Now, if you have to sell, this is probably the end of the video for you, because you can leave. We're going to be talking in the next half of the video of wants and options to sell. But if you do leave at this point, please subscribe so you can get other videos on how to pick the right agent, what the qualities are of a great agent. Just lots of little things that hopefully will make it easier for you to sell and less stress-free. So if you're leaving, goodbye. I hope we'll see you again. And if you're staying, let's move on. Okay, it's your decision and your why. There are basically 6 categories: physical or health issues, financial, emotional, family circumstances, lifestyle, or freedom and fun. Okay, as I mentioned before, you're not comfortable in the house. It's not safe for you to stay there. It could be safe like it's stairs, or it could be safe like the neighborhood has changed. It could be maintenance is just physically too much, and you want to transition to a smaller house that would be easier to take care of, or a smaller living facility, or an independent living facility, or an assisted living facility. And it may be, if you're married, it may be for one of you or for both of you. But those are physical and health reasons. Or you need to be closer to healthcare or support services. You live just too far away and you need to be closer. Physical or health issues. A second reason is financial. As I mentioned earlier, for people that need to sell, maybe you can afford to sell it, but you're thinking, holy cow, I am spending a lot of money. The homeowners association has gone up, and the roof needs to be repaired, and the money just seems to be floating away over and over out. All of the things, the taxes are more, and you're thinking, wow, if I could sell this house and maybe downsize and buy another, I'd free up funds because there's equity here, and I'd have funds to do other things, maybe things for fun. I could travel or whatever. So it would free up funds. If that's the case, make a list. How much does your house really cost, both in time and energy and money to maintain? And how much equity is in there? And would it be reasonable to sell it and then have money to do other things? Maybe you have a second home and you think, I really need to sell that. We don't enjoy going there as much as we used to. We used to go there to play golf or to ski. Well, we can't ski anymore. We can't play golf anymore. And you think it's time, and we can't travel like we used to. That 8 to 10 hour car ride is too long, and we don't want to fly, whatever. It's not viable for you physically. And maybe you have a rental property that you need to sell, and that's not viable either physically, financially, or emotionally. You get tired of keeping it up. You get tired of the phone calls. You just get tired, and it's financial. It's not making the money it should. The neighborhood is deteriorated. Who knows? But they're financial reasons. Consider them, write them down, think about them. And now we go to the third reason, emotional. Maybe the house has too many memories. Maybe you raised your family there, and now your spouse has died, and you feel lonely, and your former neighbors have moved away or they've passed away, and you're feeling really isolated. It's just not the same. When you had kids in school, you had a lot of activities, but now you just feel old. It just doesn't feel right. So it's time to move on. But there are positive reasons to sell too, looking forward. Maybe you live in the house because you worked close by. And now that you're retired, there's no reason to say you don't go into work anymore. And you don't really enjoy the neighborhood. And the things you did enjoy in the neighborhood aren't there anymore. Maybe the parks have changed, and there could be all sorts of reasons why you don't feel as comfortable in that neighborhood. You've outgrown it, or maybe that isn't the right word. It's changed, and you are tired of the lifestyle, and you want and need a change. You need to move on. As they say, that was the past, this is the now, and what's going to be your future. So that's a reason. Maybe you inherited a home and you don't like it. Then sell it and buy one you like. Don't stay in a home where you go in and you don't really like it. That's not fun. Or maybe you've had a divorce and you want a new home after it. Or maybe you need a new home after a divorce. So that's a reason to sell. Or maybe you're just married to someone new and you wanted our home. And you say, and it could be even if you're younger, and you go, I don't really want to be in the home that I was in with my former wife. Maybe you're divorced, or maybe you're widowed, and your spouse, your new wife says, I really don't want to live there. It's not the same. Well, you go on, and maybe he doesn't feel comfortable in the house that you lived in with your former mate. So that's a reason to sell. And that's a fun reason, because now you're looking to a new future in our home. And so you sell the one you're in so that you can have that. Or maybe you want to sell because you want to go back home. You went back to a class reunion and you think, oh, I really want to come back here and live. I miss it so much. Or maybe you want to be closer to your family, to your children and your grandchildren. But I'm going to give you a word of warning. Before you make that decision, go back and stay for a month. Rent. It's well worth it. Do not go back there on impulse. You may find that your family isn't really that thrilled to have you back there. They love to have you come and visit, but they have their own lives to do. Go and do things, and they want to do things that they don't want to have to be thinking about you all of the time, or they don't think about you all the time, or whatever. Anyway, so think about it very carefully, going back home or being closer to family, and try it out for a month or two before you make that decision. Okay, that's the fifth reason. The sixth reason is you want freedom. You're tired of homeownership responsibilities. You're tired of taking out the garbage. You're tired of mowing the lawn. You're tired of vacuuming. You're tired of cleaning. You just want out. You want to go someplace where maybe independent living, or maybe you want to buy an RV and travel. You just don't want to take care of a house anymore. You just don't want it. And you don't want to be tied down. You want flexibility, and you want simplicity, and you want to have some fun. You want to go someplace where there are recreational things to do, to your age group, to your lifestyle. You want to have fun. And that's the sixth reason to sell your house. And so I'm going to stop my share and come back. And it's Joanna Conde with Real Estate for Seniors. A closing thought is to write these pros and cons down. And when your pros of selling outweigh your cons of selling, it's time to sell and move on. But if your cons of selling don't outweigh your pros, it's probably time for you to just wait and see. So think of it carefully. And again, if your pros outweigh your cons, it's time to sell. And our next videos are going to be on finding a great agent and how to interview an agent and how to get your house ready. And so if you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe so that you can get further videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.